Today on Ballistic Burgers, I'm going to be recreating the Steamed Cheeseburger from Ted's restaurant in Meriden, Connecticut. Let's get going. So the steamed hamburger, the steamed cheeseburger, it's a Connecticut thing. It's one of those regional burgers that I love doing. It's one of the things I love about this channel for me. I get to try things that I've never had before, and I have never been to Connecticut. I've watched a lot of videos on this steamed cheeseburger. I've done a lot of research reading about it. I'm kind of wondering, is this where the steamed ham comes from as far as the Simpsons cartoon? I don't know. If you guys know, let me know. One of the things I wanted to make sure is that I had the proper equipment to do the job. So I went online and I found a couple places that are actually in Connecticut that are selling the products you need to make this burger. I did want to buy the cabinet. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this thing. I have a feeling I will, but I did buy the little containers that they put the meat in. Now Ted's, it's a lot more elaborate than what I'm doing. Stainless steel steam cabinets with stainless steel trays. I couldn't find stainless steel trays anywhere, but I did find a couple places. One was a Pinterest business and the other one was a small business that's actually, I guess, manufacturing and selling cabinets and the containers, the whole kit. So here's what I ended up buying, just some of these containers, and as you can see, they're plastic. The Pinterest, I actually bought the kit from the Pinterest as well, and they were made out of silicone, which I'm sure is fine, but I opted to use these in the video. And I also purchased a steam rack, which I have in the bottom of the skillet. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the ground beef. So again, in my research, you don't need or actually want heavily fatted meat, like 80-20, which is usually my go-to. You need to use a leaner meat so it doesn't shrink up too much, and you don't need all that oil to cook this since it's cooking in steam, a very moist environment. So I went ahead and preloaded that container. Believe it or not, this is 90-10, 90% lean, 10% fat, ground sirloin. This is the first time I've ever bought ground beef that had such little fat, but I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. Now, I could not find anyone online that was preparing this that was seasoning the meat. A lot of them were just taking it literally straight out of the, that styrofoam hamburger carton and putting it in the containers. Ted's, I watched them preparing this burger, and I did not see them salting it at all. So I'm guessing the cheese and all the condiments will provide, that extra kind of flavor you need. And believe it or not, a lot of very popular burger joints, including Five Guys, they don't season their meat. They do not. It's shocking to some. Initially it was for me, but from doing these copycats, I've discovered a lot of these businesses, they're not. So easy stuff, placing it in the skillet with the boiling water and putting the lid on. So the meat is going to cook a total of 10 minutes, and 5 minutes in I'm going to add the cheese. And here's the cheese I'm using. Now, the owner of Ted's talks about how he discovered a cheese that melts without separating into the oil like most cheese does. There's a few options I was thinking of. Most people are using like a white cheddar, but again, they're getting that separation. It's complaining about the separation. So I went with a Recollet du Valise. I know I've completely butchered that, but this is it's like a Swiss cheese, but it's specifically formulated for melting for the Recoleta. It's funny, my mother-in-law is Swiss. She'd punch me in the face how I'm butchering this because they're really into the Recollets. Anyway, some other options I was considering would be a queso quesadilla, again, really good melting cheese, or a Oaxacan cheese, but I'm guessing they're not using that in Connecticut. Okay, we're 5 minutes in and I'm going to add the cheese now. Little side note, this particular skillet that I'm using has the little, mouths, I guess, to help it pour liquids out of this thing. I would suggest using one that does not have these. It's allowing a lot of steam to escape. I don't think it's going to cause any issues, but just something to think about. It's definitely cooking. So again, I'm hoping 5 more minutes, but basically what I want is that cheese to melt. So if it melts within 5 minutes, we're golden. If not, I'll just let it go a little bit longer until the cheese is melted. We're getting close to that 5-minute mark. The cheese is melting really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and prep the bun. So I'm using a Kaiser roll, which seems to be the tradition in Connecticut on this burger. Love Kaiser rolls. Top bun. Just going to lay down some mustard, yellow mustard, as opposed to blue mustard, I guess. And it doesn't look like they're toasting these buns. On all the videos I've seen, they did not look toasted. So on this bottom bun, I'm going to add, this is some sweet onion. It's just sliced sweet onion. Then I'm laying down some pickles. There's a lot of ways that you can have this burger served up. And I actually bought tomato and lettuce and everything, but then I was thinking, you know what? No, I'm going to keep it very simple. I just want to enjoy the meat and the cheese more than anything. All right, the 5-minute mark has passed, and these things look really done. So first thing I'm going to do is take this burger patty, so one complaint I would have about this steamer that was actually bought for doing this is just the legs don't look long enough. I'm literally almost out of water in here. So, I mean, it gave me enough room for water to finish the cook, but no more than that. So we'll go ahead and lay this burger down. This little spatula is part of the kit. Now you'll notice that the meat isn't anywhere as near as big as the bun. And this is something that I was seeing on the restaurant videos, so I guess that's the way it is. All right, now that cheese. That looks good. Now we'll crown this. That is a gooey, ooey, sexy looking burger right there. Cheese smells really good. Let's give this a try. Cheers. So one thing immediately I noticed, it doesn't need salt. I think the cheese and that flavor of the mustard is plenty. Honestly, I think I don't think it would have been as good with salt. It didn't need salt. It's a lot of cheese. I mean, that was 5 ounces of meat and 3 ounces of cheese. I have nothing at all against, veg on a burger. I like, the contrast, the coolness that, lettuce and tomato and everything provides. I'm happy with the way this is. I don't think I would, if I was to order this in their restaurant, this is how I'd get it. So the first thing that I get when I bite into this is that meat is just really hot. I mean, it's steaming hot, which is good. And then, it's kind of colliding with that bite of the onion and the pickle and that mustard. It's all just really playing together well. Cheese, it's a lot of cheese, but it totally works. And I think one of the reasons it works is that patty is just so darn thick. One thing I wish is that it was just sort of bun to bun meat. Again, looking at the footage from like Ted's and the other videos I watched, this is the way it is. I mean, the little pans are a certain size and they're not as big as that bun to bun dimension. And that was my only criticism would be that. I'd like to just see a bigger, a bigger patty, bigger beef patty. It's good. Really good. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. This was the result of several requests I've had over the years, so keep the requests coming in. If you're not subscribed, please hit that red button. Make sure you ring the notification bell, and if you like the video, hope you did, thumb it up. I'll see you on the next video, And I forgot to bring a beer out for this, but cheers.